Welcome back to Project 365. I'm Julie. I've got Corey here. We're SB Pace. And our question today that we are answering as we wind down the month of May and talking about mergers and acquisitions is, how do I know if the offer on my business is a good one? Corey, how do I know?
Well, this is going to be one of the few times where I will admit that it's not all numbers based. It's a mix of numbers and just your gut feeling, your emotions on it. You're selling your business. It's probably been your baby for a number of years. There's definitely some blood, sweat, and tears that have been spilled into the business, and you want to make sure that you are getting what you think it's worth, and you want to walk away knowing that you had a good deal, like that what you spent the time, et cetera, over the past years is worth what you're getting. Outside of that, from the number standpoint, you want to make sure that you've had the business valued so that you know what the business is actually worth. There's a good chance that what you think it's worth is not as much because, again, you're emotionally invested in the business. So you think that, your $2 million revenue business is worth 10 when in fact it's probably only worth 3 or 4. But that all comes down to those numbers that you'll get from a professional. So it's a combination of the numbers and what you feel good walking away with.
That's great advice. I would add one more thing in there, and it has to do with the emotion part. If you take a look every year at the beginning of the year or the end of the year when you're doing your strategic planning, and even if you're a solopreneur or you don't have business partners or investors or anything, if you just look at like basically a buy sell agreement where you create one where you're like, okay, if I got an offer on my business for X this year, I would sell. Or look at, the value of my business is Y, and kind of think through your business when you're not in the position of having an offer or getting a potential offer, and you're far less emotional about it and you can think through it more strategically and be objective, at least more objective, then that will really bode well for you if an offer does come, especially one where you're not, where it wasn't solicited and it's unexpected. And then the other thing is, if you just always want to keep your books as clean as possible, right? So keep your finances clean. So here's me giving math advice, but you've got to keep those books clean and really take a look at every year when you're not in an emotional state what you believe the business to be worth, a very objective valuation of that from yourself. We're not suggesting you hire somebody to do evaluation every year, just that you think about it every year based on what you've done the prior year and how your sales have looked and what sort of IP or other products or services you've added to your portfolio.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, and that's it for today. We will catch you tomorrow.